Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you to our witnesses. I think I am your last questioner of the day, so I'll jump right into it. This is going to be a question for you all, and no lengthy response if you can avoid it. My colleague, Representative Palmer, touched on quantum, so I'm just going to do a little bit of follow-up on that because I think it's crucial that we understand the implications of quantum AI and really the risks that it poses as we're in this race. So specifically, what are each of you doing to harden our infrastructure? And are you developing quantum-safe encryption technologies? We can just go down the line.
Sure, I can start. The department just released a cybersecurity strategy. It has 4 elements. I won't go through all 4. I know you want us to be brief. One is about setting performance goals, sector-specific performance goals. There's sort of a basic set and there's an enhanced set. I don't know the answer to whether it's addressing the quantum-based encryption sort of issues that you're describing. I'm happy to get back to you on that. Second is carrots and sticks, and we would like to work with the Congress on that, providing incentives for those who already have met the basic performance goals for them to invest in enhanced technologies. And correspondingly, it's raising the floor and raising the ceiling. On the floor, providing resources to rural hospitals, critical safety net hospitals, tribal entities that don't have the capabilities to even meet the basics. And then third would be beefing up enforcement. That would be the stick where we'd like to work with the Congress again on having higher civil monetary penalties from a HIPAA perspective. And another area that we'd like to look at is updating the HIPAA security rule. And that's all part of the HHS cybersecurity strategy, which was released, I think, in the last couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Congresswoman. So the National Institute for Standards and Technology, NIST, which is within the department, is kind of playing a core role in kind of helping to kind of develop standards for the ecosystem for post-quantum cryptography. So I think it's a pretty significant work stream for us. And of course, as you note, quantum computers have the ability potentially in the future, if they're scaled up, to kind of break fairly advanced encryption. So I think we're quite worried about that, and we want to make sure that we harden our infrastructure against that risk.
So there is a plan in place, or working on a plan to address that very issue. Okay, I'm thinking broadly the geopolitical implications of quantum computing matched up with AI and what could happen to, in particular, our federal agencies.
Thank you for that question, and it's something that's really central, a big question for DOE. We have a significant effort with a number of quantum centers around the country where we're looking at how we advance the science of quantum. We also have significant efforts at the national labs in this space. We'd be happy to get back to you with a little bit more. And this is a whole of government effort. So OSTP, the National Quantum Coordination Initiative, and a number of other agencies are all involved in this discussion.
Okay. Wonderful, thank you. So I know that companies are really working on developing various ways to identify AI-generated content. There's the watermarks, there's all kinds of ways to embed metadata in the pixels, et cetera. But there was a study from the University of Maryland that just came out a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure if you all are aware, and they discovered dozens of ways in which the watermarking was actually not an effective way. It was actually very easy to manipulate. In fact, they were creating false positives because these malicious actors, in this case, it was just a bunch of university students, but they were able to go in, manipulate the data, manipulate the image, and create a false positive. You can imagine that a lone wolf or an adversary could do some pretty serious damage if this was an image or a verified piece of AI content that, was then deemed to be a false positive later. Have you guys explored any further steps beyond just the basic watermark of AI-generated content?
So thank you, Congresswoman. So yeah, I think it's a critical part of the challenge in developing watermarking technologies. The truth is, once a piece of content is out there, it can be manipulable by many actors, and removing watermarking and so it's definitely an issue. So I think it's an interesting area for research and development to kind of build in kind of stronger watermarks that are more difficult to remove if that's technically feasible. So, but it's an important issue.
I would just add here that our labs have done work in content authentication, which I think is the sort of flip side to the watermarking. How do you know if it's actually true rather than if there's an emblem that says that it's true?
Right.
And, our labs do a lot of work with synthetic data. And it kind of operates in this sort of same idea but our goal is different. Our goal is about generating synthetic scientific data that we can do models and simulations on. But that the learnings that we get from that are actually applicable in this space as well. And it's one that we would look to work with our interagency colleagues to develop a stronger approach on.
Okay, wonderful. And I know I'm over time, but was there anything you had to add from
I didn't have anything to add.
All right, thank you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.